Okay. So after the Ways and Means Budget Review, changes to the county executive's proposed budget will be voted on today. Any proposed amendments to the budget from the legislature can be made at the budget session on October 14th. We will now take the Ways and Means report item by item. I just want to mention before we get started, I want to again thank the county executive staff for all of your assistance, the departments for their assistance. The budget review process, I think, went very smoothly. The budget with a decrease in the tax rate was a good start, and the county legislature, after reviewing, has made a couple of recommendations for changes. There was some departments that we didn't review in the budget, but we have kind of looked at them on our own, and I also recommend to the committee chairs to bring those departments in after in their committee meetings to discuss any issues in the budget that you might see going forward. We will now start going through each of the proposed changes to the budget. And I will need a vote on each of these. The first one we have, Brian, Leader May.
Thank you. Yeah, I just think for today's purposes, I'd like to, from the standpoint of at least one floor leader here, and I'm sure Leader Hernandez shares my thoughts, certainly gratitude to our great staff and team behind us. You guys have done a phenomenal job helping us work through the process. This has certainly been more of a deep dive review than necessarily making a bunch of changes. And in the past, we've seen the whole spectrum of budgets to review. And thank you for the county department heads, and of course, Christy, for your assistance. You've been great to work with. Round one, you've been a big help, much appreciated. Jason, you in the background, of course, everybody else on the county executives team. Got to give credit where credit's due, right? Mm-hmm. We were given a lean and very fiscally responsible preliminary budget from the county executive and his administration. I think it reflects the fiscal realities of that Onondaga County government faces. Not good, not bad, just reality, and that's a great way to take your first step into a process like this. It reflects a slowing of sales tax growth. That's a really important thing to mention. It prepares us, this budget, for the operational or transformational realities that we face going into the next few years here in Onondaga County. Creates a level set for that. We were given a balanced budget, and we're returning a balanced budget. That's very important. That weighs into the county's bond ratings and how we fiscally manage the resources, financial resources of the county. It allows us to borrow and refinance at better rates, which saves taxpayers a ton of money, and that's super, super important. Another important point to use that was recognized by members of the legislature through this review process was that salary savings was used to make sure we had a balanced budget. And that's very important because that sends us a message that we're trying to be responsible and realistic, and that message was given to the department heads. Department heads worked with the exec team to achieve those salary savings in the balanced budget, and just worth noting that I think we respected that within this process as well. It's a very important point. Overall, I think from the staffing perspective, it puts us in, it recognizes, I should say, that we're in a very responsible place as far as staffing is concerned. Challenges were given, challenges were met by department heads in that regard in terms of funding and unfunding positions and that sort of thing. We look forward to some roster cleanups as time goes on. Again, just to wrap it up, the comments, I think it's important to mention as well that this is the Ways and Means report. This committee has reviewed the budget in great depth from all angles, and now we're returning it to the legislature to make its choice in a couple of weeks. So thanks again, everyone, for the process and the help. And, you know, I think we have a really good result here. So thank you, Colleen.
Leader Hernandez.
You almost scared me a little, Brian, but yes, you know, I can agree with a lot of what you said. We always do want to be thankful for our staff and our department heads. This process, I feel like, was a lot easier. Thank you for your leadership, and Tim, your leadership going over the process. I just, you know, wish we could have just been a little bit more aggressive dealing with funding towards departments like DSS that deals with our poverty. It just was a little hurtful, constantly saying that our poverty levels are decreasing in our county, and I just don't feel like they are. But everything else that you said, yes, I do agree.
Thank you. Chair.
Thank you. I agree with everything that Leader May and Leader Hernandez have said, and again, I would say thank you to everyone involved in this budget process. This is definitely a fiscally sound budget that we're looking at. I'm excited again to cut the tax rate and to supply our residents with some relief. It will be different in each district, I understand, but we're doing, I think, the best work that we can do. I mean, that's what we should do here in local government. We're committed to doing the things that we can do that residents can't necessarily do for themselves. That's our role in government, and I think that we have a good product here, and look forward to this next year and all that is to come. Certainly many challenges to come for our area. Again, our county is in the beginning of great change, and that will lead to great challenges for us. It's not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that we're going to have many challenges to address in this coming year, and frankly, I look forward to them, and we'll continue to do the best that we can from this chair, and to communicate, and to be understanding, and to try to work together. So I appreciate all that has happened through this budget process, and look forward to what's to come.
Thank you. Also, too, I just want to mention the public hearing will be on October 2nd at 5 o'clock, and I look forward to hearing any public input on the proposed changes, too. So we will start with the items that we have to change. The first one is in facilities management. It is a net zero change, and it will be a decrease in services to other governments, public safety of $372,209, and an increase to services, other government, general government services. It's a zero balance. Do I have a motion on that?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next one is in county general. It is also a net zero, and this is a decrease in transfer to grant expenditures and an increase in contingent in the amount of $250,000. Do I have a motion
Moved.
on it?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. The next one is county legislature. This is an increase of $50,000 in transfer to grant expenditures from appropriations, $50,000. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next is in water environment protection. This is again a net zero. This is a decrease in all other expenses, 2.253, $224, and an increase in contingent fund, 1.846972, and then a decrease in revenue from county services WEP in the amount of $406,252.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next is economic development. This is a increase of $25,000. It's transferred to grant expenditures from an increase in revenue appropriations, $25,000. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next is Health Department, and this is an increase of $100,000. This is from contingent account, 75, from contingent, 25,000, for an increase of 100,000. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next is Sheriff's Office, and I'm going to just go with the total. This is a total increase of $672,500. This is for different increases in salary, increases in supplies and materials, an increase in automotive equipment, and a decrease in revenue appropriations. Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the total appropriation is decreased $847,500. This is a decrease from provision of salaries and benefit wage adjustment. Do I have a motion on
Moved.
that? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. So at this point, the levy has remained the same at the rate of $2.93 per thousand. Do I make a motion on the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I now need a motion on the Ways and Means report as amended.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now we will have personnel come up, and there's an item on the Ways and Means agenda to accept the contract. Carl?
Okay, good. Morning, everybody. So yes, we have reached a tentative agreement with the New York State Nurses Association Union. We've been negotiating with them since late in 2023. Their contract expired at the end of that year. We went into mediation and were able to reach agreement during mediation. The terms of the tentative agreement, which are before you now for review and hopefully adoption in a couple weeks, it includes a wage increase of 3% per year. Creates a 7-hour workday with an unpaid lunch. Previously, they had an 8-hour with a paid lunch. This creates more flexibility for the department. Some increases to some differentials and premiums, which you have in the memo. I won't list them all. On the employer side, advantages are some changes to the contract language which allow for more flexibility in scheduling. The contract previously was very restrictive to the department and the ability to schedule. This opens that up a bit. And lastly, it makes some modifications to the contract to get it more in line with some of the other contracts. This is a process we've been going through over the past few years, trying to align standard provisions in contracts to make them easier to administer on our department. Total cost of the contract over the term, which is January of 24, so it's retroactive, through the end of 2027, total cost is just over $992,000. Any questions?
Questions? Dan?
How many members do they represent? Does this represent?
Low 20s or so, maybe high 20s. It's somewhere in that range.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Carol,
Charles?
yes, just had a question. The 7-hour workday, how will that affect staffing and other things? I'm sure you've studied that.
It won't. They'll still be at work for the same 7 hours. It was originally an 8-hour workday with a paid lunch, but there was really never any work performed during the lunch period, so we now have a 7-hour. They get an unpaid lunch. That gives them the ability to leave the building if they want. They couldn't leave the building when they had a paid lunch, so it benefits both sides in this. It won't change staffing because they'll still have coverage. Obviously, the lunches won't align. There'll always be someone on duty during the various lunch periods between 11 and 2 o'clock. So it provides flexibility for the department and for the members.
All right, well, thank you. And as hard as they work, you know, with all the pressures that are involved in the job, are there safeguards that exist for like alcohol, drug testing, and other things?
Well, we actually, the new TA includes the county alcohol and drug testing policy for the members, which we've been working on getting into all the contracts. That's part of the standardization across contracts. There are protocols within the department that are not part of the contract for health and safety, for them dealing with various different things, dealing with sharps, dealing with different types of infections that they come in contact with. There's also state and federal regulations along those lines that the department follows as well. So their safety is provided for through those ways, but not through the contract.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Nadija?
So the work hours that they report will be 35 hours a week or 70 hours every 2 weeks?
Yes, that's what the new base hours will be for those employees.
Brian?
Thank you. Goes without saying, Carl, thanks for the overview, but maybe bears mentioning, you know, this has been approved by the administration and
Right.
ratified by the union.
Yes, ratified
So
by the union.
that's why it's here today with us. Thank you.
Yes.
Yep. Any other questions?
And lastly, I just want to thank. Oh, I just was going to say, lastly, I really want to thank my negotiating team. Worked very hard on this. Donna Briscoe and Anne Marie Donahue
Yeah.
for almost 2 years to get this done. I think they did an excellent job.
Great, thank you for your hard work. Okay, we need a motion on this. Do I have a motion? Second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. So the rest of the resolutions on today's Ways and Means agenda are all just to be considered. They're part of the budget, and we will not be taking any votes on these today. So those will be moved on to the October 14th session. Everyone on the Ways and Means Committee needs to please come up and sign off on the Ways and Means report with the clerk. So we are adjourned. Thank you.
Great job. Chair Gunnip.